Hey there, demons. It's me, ya boy. I've been trying to prove the existence of the paranormal for 15 years. It's been quite the uphill battle, to say the least. So, it would be cool if you could give me a sign that you exist. Alright, that's cool too. Here, maybe you would prefer to move something. So, move this thin-ass piece of paper. Look, Spirit, I'm at my wit's end, so just say some dumb shit into this recorder so I can leave and prove to my parents that me winning the sperm race wasn't the biggest misfortune to happen to humanity.
Holy shit, shut the fuck up already. I can't even get into heaven, and now we have to deal with eternal unrest, dealing with some furry dumbass Planned Parenthood lawsuit screaming at me. I might just possess you so I could fucking kill myself.
Cool. Thanks, I guess. Wait, hold on. No demon is allowed to enter me. The only 3 things allowed in my body are coffee, Big Macs, and Wolf O'Donnell. In that order. You know what? Screw this. I'm gonna go back to making YouTube videos. Hey furries, welcome back to the world's longest lasting dumpster fire. I'm your host, Wilbur Soot. Well guys, I did it. I'm finally back for my 2-year-long trip to the Amazon on a hunt for Jeff Bezos. I'm happy to report that I did in fact find him, but he refused to give me any money. Anyway, let's check up on all the stuff I've missed out on in the past year. Huh. Well, I hope I didn't cause any of that. Hey, do you guys remember CN Real? Now, I'm not gonna spend the next 20 minutes giving the generic speech that CN Real was trash, and that the Cartoon Network executive that gave it the green light should be charged with crimes against humanity. Even though that's true, it's weird because I was the target demographic for these shows. CN Real started in June 2009, so I would have been 9 years old. But that's about when you fully start to process everything that's going on in the world. Or maybe I was just a stupid kid. But I honestly don't remember any of the classic Cartoon Network shows that everyone puts onto a high pedestal. I know I watched them, my siblings for sure would force me to watch them, but I was just a little baby man. I didn't comprehend what I was watching, and by the time I was actually able to sit down and watch a piece of media for what it was, and not just use it as a distraction for being alive, all of those shows had just ended, like I just missed out on them. Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Codename Kids Next Door, all of those shows ended a few years before that. And I didn't process the fact that TV shows ended and the network would greenlight new ones to take their place. You know, because I was 9, so why the fuck would I know how the television industry worked? I didn't have the idea in my head that Cartoon Network making live action shows was apparently a cardinal sin, at least according to any person who has reviewed CN Real or any of its shows. But since I was the target demographic for these shows, of course 9-year-old me was hyped as shit to watch a show about destroying stuff, or a show about 3 guys who just so happened to remind me of my cooler older cousins whose approval I wanted more than anything in life. Basically making Mythbusters, but if all the actors and writers were constantly high. Or maybe I wanted to watch a show of Stanley from That's So Raven talk to Tony Hawk for some reason. Okay, I'll be honest, I never watched Bobby Says, and apparently neither did anyone else, because even though there were only 6 episodes total, 5 of them are lost media. But one of the shows I did watch, for some reason, was The Othersiders, and I completely forgot that this show existed for 12 years. I don't even know what caused me to remember this show, all I know is that I am very glad I did, because this show is awful. Who could have seen that coming? Also, sorry to spoil it, literally everything on this show is fake. Again, shocking, I know. So, The Othersiders. What was it? Why was it made? Where are the kids now? And why did I watch every available episode on Dailymotion? Yeah, that's how I've been spending my quarantine. While other people were learning new skills or learning to play an instrument, I was watching 17 episodes of a nearly 12-year-old Cartoon Network ghost hunting show, all in less than 360p. So let's just get into it so it can be over already. Now, like I said, this show is awful, and I'm gonna be honest, I could not decide which episode to talk about, because they are all boring as hell. So I picked the least awful episode. if that even means anything. And after that, I'll talk about some parts in other videos that I thought were at least worth mentioning.
On this episode of The Othersiders, the team investigates an abandoned military base with a long history of unexplained reports.
So every episode starts with your stereotypical preview of what's gonna happen in the episode. For some reason, that's a trope in paranormal hunting shows. I think it's a way to try to get people to watch through the whole thing. But imagine if every TV show and movie did that. Just spoil everything interesting that's about to happen. Wait, isn't that just what a trailer is? Watching the show has made me stupid.
Can our brigade of investigators find a logical explanation, or will they gather the intel they need to discover it's haunted?
Honestly, it would be pretty funny if after all these years of ghost hunting shows and paranormal investigations, that a group of 5 kids on Cartoon Network found irrefutable evidence of ghosts. Alright, one compliment I will give this show is that it has a bitchin' theme song. So at the start of the episode, the kids introduce themselves much like it's the first day of freshman year. You've got Riley, the team leader.
My name is Riley, and I'm 16 years old.
Who apparently, despite being on a ghost hunting show, does not believe in the paranormal. Casey, the stereotypical scared girl.
I'm Casey, and I'm 16 years old.
Sam, the tech kid, I don't know.
I'm Sam and I'm 14 years old.
Zach, the nerdy child.
My name is Zach, and I'm 13 years old.
Seriously, 13? When I was 13, all I did was sit in my house and play Minecraft. Okay, that might have also been ages 13 to 21, shut up. And then there's Jackie. She's Asian.
I'm Jackie, and I'm 15 years old.
And in case you ever forget, don't worry. They introduce themselves the same way every episode. I just realized that this is just the Scooby-Doo gang. They're also all the stereotypical ghost hunters. Riley is the too cool to be scared, Zach is the nerdy kid, Casey and Jackie are the scared girls because haha women can't handle scary thing, and Sam is just the one that gets dragged along. I know I'm spending a lot of time explaining this, but I've been watching this show for weeks and I've got a lot to say about it.
Being the tech manager, I'm in charge of all of our investigation equipment, like our thermal camera.
Okay, how do they expect me to believe that a kid paid for a thermal camera? I'm just gonna Google thermal camera and see what kind of prices show up. $15,000. Where did Zach get that kind of money? Holy shit, does that thing really cost $720,000? Well, at least there's free shipping. With 163,000 reviews, that's a cool $117 billion. Just to put that into perspective, that would make you the 3rd richest person in the world, even beating out Mark Zuckerberg. Anyway, back to the show.
In 1942, some soldiers were blown into pieces when a gun they were testing exploded.
I don't want to explode.
Thank you for contributing, Casey. So once they decide on a location, they all gather into Riley's mom's SUV and head to the old, abandoned, supposedly haunted military base. You know, normal teenage things. Wait, why is she using her flashlight? It's broad daylight. So just to skip the boring setup part, that's insinuating that the entire show isn't boring, Sam and Zach head down to the tunnels. There's just one long hallway underground, so they call it the tunnels. And after no exaggeration, 30 full seconds of them just walking, they finally start to ask the ghost questions.
Are you a soldier or a general?
If anyone's here, can you show us a sign?
Zach, did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that. And you're gonna find out later that you weren't supposed to.
This is freaking me out.
Okay, I've never understood this. Why? In every goddamn paranormal hunting show, whether it be Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, Fact or Faked, and even the Othersiders, do the editors of these shows feel the need to add in some weird-ass background ambiance? When they just went back? They asked like 2 questions. I'm not kidding, they were there for less than 2 minutes of the episode. I get that it's only around 22 minutes total, but doesn't stuff actually need to happen in this show?
It was so freaky. We heard, like, footsteps. Whoa.
Once again, thank you for contributing, Casey. So now Riley's going to investigate the tunnels because he wants to see if he can hear footsteps. Also, the girls go somewhere. I don't care.
Man, it is so narrow down here. I can hardly breathe.
You're covering your mouth, Riley. Maybe try working on that. You sound like an anti-masker.
Man, this is so interesting.
Jesus Christ. I'm on the edge of my seat. Remember what I just said about the part with Sam and Zach lasting less than 2 minutes? Well, I guess that got cut to make time for Riley walking, so Riley makes his way all the way down the tunnel, but uh-oh, the door's locked.
I'm locked in.
Looks like Riley's being sacrificed to the underworld.
So I'm in the tunnel, and I went all the way down. It's locked. Now I can't get out, and I don't remember how to get back the way I came.
It's a straight line, Riley. So while Riley's apparently lost in the catacombs, let's go check in on the girls.
Can you show yourself to us?
Did you hear that?
Kinda sounded like a thing exploded.
Okay, first, great descriptive work, Casey. Second, are they talking about this noise? Where it just sounds like one of them moving? An explosion?
Casey to base camp. We just heard an explosion. Did you... Whoa! Did you just hear that?
Yeah, we just heard it.
They heard it too.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a goddamn clue what is supposed to be happening here. Apparently that static noise is supposed to be the same explosion sound that the girls heard. Hang on, I'm just gonna play them side by side and see if they sound even remotely the same. Yeah, no, they're just two completely different sounds. Unless that static isn't supposed to be the sound we're hearing, I don't know why I'm wasting my time trying to debunk the Othersiders. This is just where I've ended up after 21 years of living.
Base to Riley, base to Riley.
Base to Riley.
But nobody went to help him? Did he just eat a bug? Why did they include that? So going back to Casey and Jackie, it seems that Jackie has finally snapped and is hearing noises in her head.
Hear that?
So what do you hear? I thought I just heard a bang. Jackie, I'm not hearing what you're hearing.
Good to see we're finally getting solid proof of the paranormal.
Jackie per base camp. Jackie per base camp. What's going on?
Did she just whisper into her walkie-talkie and then get confused that they couldn't hear her?
Okay, what is going on?
Why is the walkie-talkie just bass? What, and now they're crying? They're at most a few hundred feet away from the others. Or are they crying because of a technical malfunction? I never understood this about ghost hunters in shows and movies. There's always one or two members of the group that are absolutely fucking terrified of the paranormal. Little pussy bitches, one might say. So why the fuck would you join a ghost hunting group if you get too scared at the thought of even going inside a supposedly haunted building? I don't know what is happening in this show at any point. When is this over? Also, if you want a way to make this show even funnier, just try to imagine the grown adult behind the camera sitting with the kids while they're crying from fear. At least I think it's an adult. They could have just had another teenager operate the camera. So they sit down to ask some more questions to the demons, and then Jackie's schizophrenia kicks back in and she starts hearing noises in her head again.
I heard something. What'd you hear? What? On the other side. What? You didn't hear it? I didn't hear it.
Now are you starting to understand why I said this show was unbelievably boring? The only evidence they've supposedly caught so far have been noises that they just heard in their head.
Somebody down there. Someone's down there.
Okay. Did shit just get interesting? What the hell was that?
I saw that, yes, I did. It was red, and it was green on the outsides. I don't know what it was, but it was something was there.
I like how they were scared shitless when their walkie-talkies started speaking in Braille, but when they see a full-bodied apparition, they are completely calm.
I thought you guys were dead.
You didn't go help?
We gotta go over all our video footage, all the audio, to see if we caught any paranormal evidence. So I say we pack it up and get out of here.
Oh, and now they're just back home. Something interesting finally happens and they decide to leave. Alright, time to go over the evidence. I mean, honestly, that apparition was pretty solid. I'm guessing they're all gonna at least agree with me on that one.
Wow. You only see the head and then like legs.
Yeah, I'm saying there's no way in my mind that that is a human. That is a spirit for me.
It's something.
Directly at the end of this tunnel it's practically its base camp, so it could have just been one of us walking by.
What?
Riley is really practical. He always has to have an explanation. He doesn't want to believe in the paranormal. Riley thinks evidence is credible when there's no other explanation.
I was going over the footage in the generator room.
What, that's it? They all just agreed on that? What do you mean it could have been one of you? They yelled down the tunnel asking if someone was there.
Someone's down there.
Okay, who's ever standing right there, come out.
Why would you ignore them? Okay, fine. But they just said that Riley only thinks footage is credible when there's no other possible explanation. So let's see what he's bringing up that beats out a full-bodied apparition.
I think this is really unbelievable, so check this out.
That means it has to be good.
Whoa.
Isn't that weird? Wow.
An orb, huh?
This is the coolest thing ever. We have an orb.
Yeah, it's super cool. You just captured a full-bodied apparition and you're freaking out over a ball?
Maybe this could even be like an actual spirit of a soldier that died here.
Yeah, but what about the other guy? Was he just the spirit of a janitor or something, so it's not as interesting?
I think that's our most legitimate evidence.
You know, I've mentioned before that I've watched a lot of ghost caught on camera videos on YouTube, and you know what the general consensus is for when an orb is captured on a stationary camera? A bug. What the hell is this supposed to be?
People can go on 1,000 ghost hunts and never find that, and for us to catch it is just so amazing to me.
You saw a person. I know I'm too hooked up on this. Obviously it's not real, but are you kidding me?
That orb in the generator room, I was speechless. It was just unbelievable. I could not find any explanation for that one particular piece of evidence. I had to call it credible.
Didn't Casey just say that he never believes anything is paranormal? So after spending, I shit you not, 2 full minutes talking about the orb, they finally move on, and this part, I don't even know how to describe how angry it makes me.
Zach, I checked those voice recorders that we had in the tunnels, and unfortunately, I didn't pick up those footsteps that we heard.
That's kind of strange, because I swear I heard something.
I know.
And those voice recorders are like more sensitive than our ears.
Exactly, yeah.
Even though we don't have the footage of it, I mean, it's still credible.
What? Casey, please look up the definition of the word credible. So the footsteps that they heard in their head and have no actual evidence for is credible, but not fucking this? I'm mad. So at the end of every episode, the 5 of them take a vote as to whether or not they believe that the place is haunted. And even though they captured literally 0 convincing evidence, they all vote haunted.
I think I'm gonna call this place haunted.
I'm definitely going with haunted.
Fort MacArthur is definitely haunted for me.
So I think this place is haunted.
And I have to call the place haunted.
Riley thinks this place is haunted!
That's right, with 3 of them voting that it's haunted based on events that they admit they have no evidence for, Riley still believing that a bug walking across a lens is irrefutable evidence, and Casey actually bringing up the only thing worth mentioning, this place gets voted 5 out of 5 haunted.
After we call a place haunted or not, I put our evidence online so people can draw their own conclusions.
Oh yeah, apparently Sam used to run the Othersiders website on CartoonNetwork.com. The website doesn't exist anymore, but you could buy the domain for a simple $3,500. With Zach's apparent wealth, that would be like pocket change. I tried to go to the website through the Wayback Machine, but literally none of the archives worked. So, does this count as lost media?
Each investigation gets harder and harder, but we're definitely up for the challenge.
You heard noises in your head and cried. And that's it. It's over. Wasn't that just the worst? I don't know why I put us both through that torment, but at least we can say we came out of this with some new experiences. What the hell am I talking about? Here's some parts of different episodes that I wanted to talk about as well. These aren't gonna be in any order because I don't care.
I really don't like to be scared. I don't like scary movies. I don't really like haunted houses. I like ghost hunting, but I really don't like the whole getting scared part.
Sam, you are a paranormal investigator. That might be something you have to start getting used to. So in this episode, they go to some warehouse. Don't get too attached, I only wanted to talk about like 3 other things.
I've always had a fear of elevators. It's just like a reoccurring dream I always have, being stuck in an elevator and not being able to get out.
Riley's going in the elevator, isn't he?
If I saw a ghost, I'd probably be really scared.
So they're still talking about what they would do if they saw a ghost? This is the 6th episode.
but then I'd take my hand, I'd try to put it through it, like to see if it came out the other end.
You know, Zach, I can't say I wouldn't do the same.
So I heard that they kept the animals on the 6th floor, which is the top floor, and there have been reports of low groans of animals.
I also heard, guys, that some of the elevators move up and down, like without anyone pressing the buttons. So when you look, like you could fall to your death. That would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy. Also, did he just say animal ghosts? Since when is that a thing?
Supposedly also down by the railroads and train tracks, you can hear the train and you can see the lights flashing, but nothing's there.
Ghost trains?
Right off the bat, I gotta face my fear and get in this elevator.
Riley is in the elevator. What a shocking twist.
Okay, you wanna start us off?
Yeah. What is your name? Why are you here?
Did you work here? Wanna ask anything else?
You asked 3 questions. What do you mean?
Are you an animal or a human?
Sam, please.
Oh, a staircase or a slide or something.
Why is there a playground slide in the middle of a warehouse? So I wrote down this next part while watching the episode, but now rewatching it, I have no idea what caused me to write it, so just pretend that they started using a spirit box, okay? Let's use our imagination for a second. Look, I've been watching Ghost Adventures for the past decade. I'd like to think I know a thing or two about hunting some ghosts, but for the life of me, I cannot figure out spirit boxes. They're just radios that are constantly changing stations or frequencies, so that's why you hear a ton of static, and they're also changing really fast, so no words can really be heard through it. But my god, every time someone uses it, it all sounds the same. What is your name, spirit? He said Adam.
Ghost hunting's pretty fun. It'd be cool to meet a girl on an investigation, but she'd probably be invisible.
What? Don't worry, Sam. The guys I like aren't real either. So in this one, they go to the Queen Mary, and they meet this guy Dustin, who's like an expert on the place. And I'm honestly not so sure that he isn't a demon.
There have been 52 recorded passenger deaths here on the ship. Not to mention hundreds of deaths of the soldiers as well. So quite a few real hot spots on the ship, if you know what I'm talking about.
Jesus Christ, is that Corpse Husband? Casey and Sam go to the engine room, and one of the stupidest moments in the entire series happens. I don't know, Casey. What could the noise in the engine room that sounds like an engine running possibly be?
All of a sudden, we heard what sounded like an engine turn on. I hope we got some kind of evidence of this on our voice recorders.
That was it. They went into the engine room, an engine turned on, and they left.
This is something I found in the pool. Keep your eyes on the back wall.
Whoa. Oh yeah, then there's this part. Riley brings up this piece of evidence of a shadow on the wall, but then Riley says that it's not credible.
I agree with you guys that it's a shadow, but I'm not convinced that this is credible evidence of the paranormal.
You brought it up, Riley! Alright, this is the last episode I'll talk about. So we're gonna skip ahead to Season 2, Episode 10, which was also the series finale. They're investigating Alcatraz Island. These are children. I remember very clearly watching this episode when it premiered. There was this giveaway that they were doing where if you called a number, you had a chance to win a bunch of ghost hunting equipment, but when I called it, it just had a dial tone on the other end, so I didn't win.
Wow, one of the reports say that this place housed Al Capone.
Who's Al Capone?
Bitch, you are a senior in high school. How have you never heard of Al Capone?
Pulling up to Alcatraz, all I could think about was all the suffering that went on there while it was still a prison.
Yeah, all those hardened criminals suffering. It's not like Alcatraz was used for the worst criminals in America. Okay, I know I've been cutting out parts of this, but those seagulls have not shut up since they pulled up in their car.
Casey and I are going to the prison shower, where there is a report of unexplainable banjo music.
Why was Al Capone playing the banjo in the showers?
Al Capone, if you're here with us, could you please show us a sign? Could you maybe play your banjo for us?
Ghost banjo? Like the banjo was with him in the spirit realm?
Just saw a really weird flash of light in the cell block, and it looked like it was near Al Capone's cell.
Wow, that's really freaky. We'll go check that out right now.
You'd think that after all this time, and with this being the series finale, They would have learned how to, act. So they capture this bug flying past the camera, and they start arguing, because of course they do.
We're going into locations that are supposedly haunted with reports of orbs.
It's taking the movement of how I've seen other living creatures move before.
This could be a spirit, maybe a tortured soul, trying to communicate with us. And that seems like a more reasonable explanation than a bug or a piece of the ceiling or something like that.
What? What a bizarre thing to hear on Cartoon Network.
Guys, we caught Al Capone playing the banjo.
It's kind of a big leap for me to say that that's Al Capone. Yeah. I definitely hear a banjo, and I think that's great evidence, but...
I forgot about that part. Oh, what a highlight to end this show on. So, was The Othersiders really a bad show? Yes. That Alcatraz episode was 46 minutes, and I talked about it for probably 4 to 5. I don't know, I can't predict the future. The rest of the episode had nothing interesting happen. This show is so goddamn boring. So now I just want to go over some reviews for the show that I found because oh my god, apparently people have a lot to say about The Othersiders. In a shock to no one, the show has a score of 3.1 on IMDb. Man, first the Garfield movie and now this. Why is it that every show or movie that I liked when I was younger always has terrible reviews? The problem with this show, just the one? Oh my god. Look, I've been boycotting this show since before it aired, along with others in the paranormal community. This review and post has nothing to do with believing in the paranormal or not. I don't believe it's my right to tell someone what to believe, just as it's no one's to tell me the same. Alright, we're off to a good start. My main issue with this show has to do with the fact that it is geared toward children on a network for children. Ever since the uprise of shows like Ghost Hunters, Paranormal State, and the like, there have been too many copycat groups popping up all over the place, and most of them are children who see something on TV and think it would be fun to do the same. You know, I'm actually gonna have to agree with you there. I watched Ghost Adventures a lot growing up, and even now, like 10 years later, I still want to go on a ghost hunt. Obviously, I'm not expecting to capture anything, but kids are very easily influenced, even when it comes to ghost hunting. Breaking into abandoned areas illegally is not safe. No shit. You never know what you are going to come across, and most of the time, the dangers are that of living people. These kids are putting themselves in danger by thinking this kind of thing is fun. It's like handing a child a loaded gun. I'm not so sure about that. This type of show should never have been green-lighted. Lighted? Because it is going to cause more damage than good. I mean, it really only did damage to Cartoon Network's viewership. The myth that a ghost or presence cannot hurt you is completely false. I have seen people hit, bit, scratched by things they cannot see. Why doesn't this guy have a TV show then? Paranormal studies have just started to gain more clout. Holy shit, this dude just used the term clout in 2009? I didn't even know that was a term people used until like 2016. Unfortunately, The Othersiders hinders the paranormal community and its reputation instead of helping it. When I was watching this show when I was 9 years old, I would have never even fathomed that there were real paranormal investigators beefing with this show. I mean, I guess it makes sense if any of this does. Man, having your interest being mocked by the entire world, I couldn't possibly imagine what that's like. It's like making a show for kids like The Sopranos, where kids in the mob would start offing people. You wouldn't want your kids watching that, would you? I watched shit like 2 Girls, 1 Cup, 1 Man, 1 Horse, 1 Man, 1 Jar, fucking ISIS beheading videos, all before hitting puberty. I'm sure your kids will be fine. Anyway, let's check out another review. Let's look at a positive one for a change. I think this show is cool. Oh my god! Why do people have so much to say about The Othersiders? Why are they writing 5+ paragraph thesis papers for the reviews? Also, I do not think that their evidence is staged or set up. You do not have to have 20 years of experience under your belt just to catch a ghost on tape. Oh shit, he's calling the other guy out. Imagine arguing with someone through IMDb reviews of The Othersiders. So, for the final part of this, I wanted to see if I could find out what the kids are doing now, but the only person credited on the IMDb page is the guy that did the voiceover for the intro. So it seems like I'm gonna have to actually do research. So I guess Riley's the only one that really continued acting after the show. He was on Casey Undercover for a while, so honestly that's pretty cool. According to Casey's LinkedIn, she's an account manager at Hummingbird Networks, which I guess is a company that sets up Wi-Fi for other companies. Sam, I wasn't really able to find out what he's up to. His LinkedIn has him listed for working for a lot of places over the years, so Sam, if for whatever reason you are watching this video, I hope you're doing alright. Also, I fully understand how stalkerish this seems, but it's under the guise of research, so it's fine. I wasn't really able to find out what Jackie's up to either. I think I found her Instagram, but I'm not gonna show that because 1, that just seems a bit far, and 2, I'm not even fully sure it is her. It could just be another Asian woman with the same name, and I'm going to leave it at that because I like having a platform. Now Zach. This one was interesting to discover. Zach makes music now.
When you said it was over, you shot right through my heart. Why you let these people tear what we had right apart? Ooh, I was so mad. I could have seen this coming right from the start. You should beware, beware, beware of a woman with a broken heart.
So that was quite bizarre to learn, but if I'm gonna be honest, he's actually really good, which was even more surprising. Seriously, it's very bizarre to go from watching this kid and realizing this is what he's doing now.
I wish we could smoke, drink, laugh like we used to. I wish we could ride Mulholland Drive like we used to.
Why is it good? So, I guess I'll leave a link to Zach's website in the description if you want to go have a listen to some of his stuff for yourself. You know, when I started this video, this is not where I expected it to end. I mean, it seems like all of them are pursuing careers that they're actually interested in now, so that's good. It would be insane if they all got back together for like a reunion or something. I doubt that'll ever actually happen, but hey, if the 5 of you ever want to do that, please let me upload it to my channel. And there you have it, the Othersiders. What a journey we've been on. As far as final thoughts go, this show sucks. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I was 9 years old when I watched it. You know what else I was doing when I was 9 years old? Slamming my head into the wall, trying to get out of going to school. So I wasn't exactly the smartest kid. This wasn't even my favorite show on CN Real. It was just something I randomly remembered watching when I was little, and I felt like I needed to share it with the world. My favorite show on CN Real was Dude, What Would Happen? That show was amazing. If you also remembered that this show existed and found this video from looking it up again, I hope I was able to remind you just how horrible our childhoods were. Maybe you should follow me on Twitter, @PaulTChampion. Also subscribe since I'm apparently making videos again. Maybe one day I'll make a video talking about other CN Real shows, or other just weird fucking shows from my childhood. Anyway, I'll see you all next time I think of another video idea, in another 2 years.